The Department of the Interior and Local Government, Central Luzon, presents this series of instructional videos as part of the formulation and updating of LGU Comprehensive Development Plans.
Magandang araw mga kaplano! Para sa ating episode ngayon, tatalakayin natin ang structuring solutions and policy options para sa Capacity Development Program. Ating tatalakayin ang definition ng capacity, capacity development, at capacity development program. Ating aalamin ang 6 pillars of capacity development. Alamin natin ang steps in CapDev programming. At alamin din natin ang structuring ng capacity development program. Magkakaroon tayo ng quick summary at isang madaling 5-item quiz. Simulan na natin ang ating talakayan. Ating napag-aralan na ang structuring solutions ay step 8 ng Enhanced Comprehensive Development Planning Cycle. At kapag sinabing solutions, ito ay ang programs, projects, and activities, capacity development programs, at regulatory measures or legislations. Define muna natin kung ano ang capacity. Ang capacity ay ang abilities, skills, understandings, attitudes, values, relationships, behaviors, motivations, resources, at conditions na enables individuals, organizations, networks or sectors, and broader societal systems to carry out their functions para ma-achieve ang kanilang development objectives over time. Ang definition nito divides capacity into 3 levels. Ang pinakamababang level ay ang individual capacity, which refers to the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values of individual employees. Mas malaki rito ang institutional capacity, which pertains to the organizational structure, systems and processes, motivation system, leadership, technologies, physical facilities, and other organizational components that help make the system operate. And finally, ang pinakamalaking coverage sa lahat ay ang systems or sector capacity, which pertains to policies, societal values or attitudes, development frameworks, institutional arrangements, and other elements that affect the enabling environment. Ngayon, i-define naman natin ang capacity development. Capacity development refers to the approaches, strategies, and methodologies used to improve performance at the individual, organizational, network or sector, or broader system level. Its key objectives are: first, enhance or more effectively utilize skills, abilities, and resources; second, strengthen understandings and relationships; at address issues of values, attitudes, motivations, and conditions in order to support development goals. Next, after learning about kung ano yung capacity at capacity development, we are now ready to define capacity development program. Ang capacity development program is a document that seeks to rationalize and strategically focus the capability building efforts of LGUs. It outlines the capability building interventions or programs that need to be undertaken to address an identified capability deficiency. And it draws the capacity development strategies, programs, and initiatives that need to be undertaken to address identified organizational competency gaps, indicating the target groups, specific approaches that are recommended, and the resources required, as well as the timeline. As we have discussed a while ago, there are 3 levels of capacity. Now, to strengthen the first 2 levels, the individual and institutional level, we can generate strategies, programs, and initiatives sa tinatawag nating 6 pillars of capacity development. The first pillar is structure, or the presence of appropriate structure with defined authority and accountability for performing the necessary functions. For example, the creation of a tourism office, the appointment of a tourism officer and staff, the provision of a budget for office operations. The second pillar is the pillar of competency, which refers to the knowledge and skills of local government employees and officials who need to perform their assigned functions. For example, technical competencies in computers such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, GIS, and CAD, soft skills such as leadership and management, and credentials, licenses, and advanced education such as Master in Public Management. The third pillar is management systems, or the systems, processes, and procedures for managing day to day operations and in the implementation of programs, projects, and activities. It includes systems, processes, and procedures for planning and budgeting, design and development, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation. The fourth pillar is enabling policies. This refers to the presence of policy and legislative support for planning, developing, implementing, monitoring, and evaluating the delivery of service by every local government office or department, as well as the implementation of programs, projects, and activities. The fifth pillar is knowledge and learning. This refers to the mechanisms for collecting, generating, analyzing, communicating, and using data and information as basis for executive decision making, policy making, and continuous improvement of local government employees and officials. For example, benchmarking with other LGUs, lakbay aral, and the creation of a digital library for the use of local government employees and officers. And finally, the sixth pillar of capacity development is leadership. This refers to the presence of mechanisms for defining the vision, mission, and values of the local government, setting strategic decisions, ensuring transparency and accountability in all levels of LGU operations, and instituting participatory mechanisms. So, those are the six pillars of capacity development. Now, let's discuss the steps in preparing the capacity development program. Now, there are no hard and fast rules to capacity development planning. Nonetheless, these are the suggested steps. First, establish individual and organizational competencies that are needed. Second, examine existing capacities vis-a-vis desired competencies. Third, identify capacity gaps under the six pillars of capacity development. Fourth, identify priority strategies and actions to address those gaps. Fifth, prepare a capacity development plan and budget. Next, assign roles and responsibilities. And finally, monitor the plan. Now, to structure the capacity development program, we shall be using this format. For example, say we have a sectoral goal to improve access to healthcare for poor families. Our CapDev intervention could be the training of rural health workers. They will be the target office staff. Our desired outcome would be trained rural health worker in every barangay health station. And finally, implementation details include a time frame of 2 weeks, and the training will be conducted by the DOH. Say another sectoral goal could be the reduction of the vulnerability of families to climate change. Our CapDev intervention could be training in community level GHG inventory. And our target staff would be from the MDRRMO, MPDO, and MENRO. The desired outcome could be a complete GHG inventory for the use in local climate change action planning, and the implementation details could be a time frame of 3 months and trainings by the Climate Change Commission. Here are other examples. Now, you can further organize this table by adding headings for each office or department in the LGU, and under each office or department, you can have the six pillars of capacity development. All right, let's summarize what we have learned. So we've learned that capacity refers to abilities, skills, and other factors that help individuals, institutions, and systems to carry out functions to achieve development goals. The three levels of capacity are individual, institutional, and system or sector. Capacity Development Program is a document that focuses the capability efforts of an LGU, outlines the roadmap for development, and draws the capability strategies, programs, and initiatives. The six pillars of capacity development are structure, competency, management systems, enabling policies, knowledge and learning, and leadership. There are 7 steps in preparing the capacity development program, and we use a prescribed format in structuring our capacity development program. Are you ready for our 5-item quiz? Let's begin. Question number 1. The 3 levels of capacity are? And the answer is individual A, institutional C, and systems or sector E. Question number 2. The creation of a tourism office and the tourism office position fall under which pillar of capacity development? The answer is D, structure. Question number 3. Trainings in the use of the eBPLS software falls under which pillar of capacity development? The answer is C, competency. Question number 4. The digitization of tax maps and the tax map control roll falls under which pillar of capacity development? The answer is B, management systems. And finally, question number 5. Lakbay-aral and benchmarking studies fall under which pillar of capacity development? The correct answer is B, knowledge and learning. Maraming salamat po mga kaplano sa inyong pakikinig at nawa ay marami tayong natutunan sa episode na ito. Sa next session, pag-usapan na natin ang Local Development Investment Programming.